This is Chapter 10, Exercise 1. We are working on setting standards and preparing a standard cost card. Martin Company manufactures a powerful cleaning solvent. The main ingredient in the solvent is a raw material called ECOL. Information concerning the purchase and use of ECOL follows. Purchase of ECOL, and it's purchased in 15-gallon containers at a cost of $15 per container. A discount of 2% is offered by the supplier for payment within 10 days. Martin Company takes all discounts. Shipping costs, which Martin Company must pay for, amount to $130 for an average shipment of 115-gallon containers. Use of ECOL, the bill of materials calls for 7.6 quarts of ECOL per bottle of cleaning solvent. Each gallon contains 4 quarts. About 5% of the ECOL is lost through spillage or evaporation. The 7.6 quarts above is the actual content per bottle. In addition, statistical analysis has shown that every 41st bottle is rejected at final inspection because of contamination. Required. Step 1. Compute the standard purchase price for 1 quart of ECOL. Step 2. Compute the standard quantity in quarts per saleable bottle of cleaning solvent. And step 3, use the data from 1 and 2 and prepare a standard cost card showing the cost of ECOL per bottle of cleaning solvent. Alright, so there's a lot of given information in here. So the very first one is step 1, calculate standard purchase price. Okay, so the cost per 15-gallon container is $115. This was given in the problem. And we actually always take a 2% discount, the company does. So that's 2% discount. We must take that out. So this times 2. Net cost. Take this, subtract the discount. Alright. Now we must add shipping costs. Since Martin is responsible. And that equals $130 divided by 100 containers, because they can ship 115-gallon containers, and we're trying to price one here. So, total cost per 15-gallon container equals plus the shipping cost equals 114 containers. Number of quarts per container. We're trying to get to a quart. Number of quarts per container equals 4 quarts to a gallon, and there's 15 gallons per container. It's actually not a dollar sign. So standard cost, we'll have to divide. Standard cost per quart purchase equals 114 divided by the 60 quarts. $1.90. Now that we've found the standard cost, we need to compute the standard quantity per saleable bottle of cleaning solvent. 2. Compute standard quantity. Alright. Okay, so it says in the problem that content per bill of materials. So it says says up here that the content per bill of materials that we use is 7.6. And these aren't dollars, these are quarts, right? 7.6 quarts. Put this over here so we're aware of what we're dealing in. And then we have to add an allowance for evaporation and spillage. Now in here it says that about 5% is lost through evaporation or spillage. Okay, so in order to figure out, we need to yield 7.6 quarts, and we know that 5% of that, 5% will not be used because it will evaporate or spill. So to get to our allowance for spillage, we're going to take the 7.6 quarts, and we are going to divide by 0.95. If we do this, this will give us 8. That's the number of quarts we need in order to yield the 7.6 quarts that we actually have for billable material. So, in that case, to get the 8 quarts, we need an allowance. 8 minus 7.6 equals 0.4 allowance for spillage. Alright, 0.4 quarts. So, this should equal 8. Oops. Put a line here. And this is quarts. Now, we're not actually finished because we need to add allowance for rejected units. So not only do we have spillage and evaporation, but we have rejected units. And that is 8 quarts divided by 40 bottles. Because every 41st is gone. Equals 8 divided by 40. Quarts. So our standard quantity, per saleable bottle of solvent equals the 8 plus the 8.2. So 8.2 quarts is our standard quantity. Step 3. Create a cost chart. Standard cost chart. And our standard cost would be item, item. So we would have standard quantity, standard price, standard cost per bottle. So our item is equal our standard quantity is here, is $1. Our standard price is $1.90. Our standard cost, we multiply those two together, is $15.58 per bottle.